Hello, tubes and grooves, and welcome to this lovely spring edition of Take the Fear Out of Gear with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the Akai Timbre Wolf. The Timbre Wolf, sorry.
It's a howler, isn't it?
It is a howler. I've got to say, first impressions, wow. It looks great, and I thought, wow, it's even got wood sides, but they're faux.
They are. They're Lee plastic, as they say.
Yeah. So my first piece of advice would be, if you got one of these, unscrew these two bits of plastic off, use them as templates, get some nice bit of cherry wood or something like that, make a couple of nice wooden ends for it.
Yeah.
And then put them away, nice and safe.
Yeah, and then you'd have a lot of real nice looking, expensive analog synthesizer.
Yeah, I mean, plastic doesn't float my boat, but you know, it is what it is. So this is Simon's, and what do you know about it, Si?
Well, it's
what's your history with it?
What's my boggle?
Yeah, what's your boggle?
Well, it's a bit of a weird one, this one, because this is kind of derived from, if you've seen our other videos, the Akai Timbre Wolf, or Rhythm Wolf it's called, the drum machine. And it has a lot of similarities with this. It's like the same oscillators and that.
Yeah.
But Akai have done a few improvements, like they've sorted out the tuning, because that was on the drum machine, on the bass part, it was always going out of tune. But that's all been sorted.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and that created a lot of animosity against this.
Yeah.
Because they thought, oh, this is you know, going to go out of tune and everything else. But no, it's actually a really good piece of kit.
It is.
And it's a bit of a weird one, because when I first started playing with it, I thought, oh, not really that impressed. But then the more you get into it, you realise it's got a whole bunch of stuff, and it sounds really good.
Yeah, it's got some. I think this thing lends. Well, I think me and Simon both agree. It lends itself to bottom end, really. It's got some awesome bass sounds.
It is the bass machine.
Yeah, it certainly is. So I think, without further ado, we should say, maybe it's time for.
It's that time. Chumley Stats.
It's that time again, Mr. Chumley.
It is that time. So what have we got then? Well, we've got an analog synthesizer. It's got 4 voices. You can see on the front here, you can adjust all the 4 voices separately. You've got like an envelope, you've got a filter, you've got resonance. You haven't got any LFOs. And there's no noise generator either.
Kind of strange, but
yeah,
you don't really miss it, do you?
No, but on the bonus side, you've got a sequencer.
Yeah.
And we didn't realise earlier, you've got a 4-track sequencer. So you can actually, it's like having 4 monophonic synthesizers.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like having 4 Roland 303s. Amazing.
It's quite a handy feature and an unusual one like that, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously you can program sequences, then you can jam along with the keyboard as well. So that's pretty amazing.
And you can take those 4 separate outputs into your DAW, can't you?
You can, yeah. It's got 4 outputs on the back, or if you want a mixed output, it's got that.
Yeah.
It's got MIDI, it's got USB, it's got some CV connections. It's got a whole bunch of stuff, and it's in a nice, you know, if we ignore the plastic sides,
it is well made.
It's in a nice metal case.
Yeah, it's well made. It's very heavy. It's a solid tank.
I suppose, yeah, we should say. When do you reckon it came out?
Well, I knew you was going to ask me that question, and I think it's going to be about 92, maybe 95.
You got to come.
Is it newer than that?
Newer than that, yeah.
Really? Well, okay.
Because you got to think 92 was the blade chain days, and we've.
Yeah, no, but I seriously thought that was because it's got old features. See. So,
yeah.
So 2010.
You're getting closer. You're getting warmer. So this was released at the NAMM show in California, 2015.
Really?
And it, as I said, it had a lot of negativity because of the Rhythm Wolf drum machine and the problems it had with tuning and everything else. So this is using the same oscillators.
It inherited its hate.
Yeah, and obviously Akai have sorted that because you've got a tuning button here, so it does all stay in tune. And let's talk about, what do you reckon it originally cost?
I reckon that was quite a lot of money. I'm going to say it was probably around about the £600 mark.
No, when it was released, it was roughly £300.
That's quite reasonable for something made so well.
Yeah, but the problem was with the sort of animosity against it, and the prices dropped and dropped and dropped on these because there was a lot of upset people.
What, brand new or second hand?
Brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
if you had a second hand one, you couldn't get rid of it then because people the main price was dropping. So
yeah. However, the tide has changed. So on eBay, what do you reckon you can get one for on eBay now, dude?
Well, judging by what you said they were now, I'm going to say £150, anywhere between that to 200 maybe.
Pretty well.
I'd say that was cheap if you got one.
I'd say over 200 now.
Yeah, I was going to say
over 200.
Okay.
Because you don't see them very often, and well, they're probably a good buy now. They might not, might not be impressed to begin with when the prices were dropping, but the prices have gone the other way. Give it another couple of years, they'll probably be the £300 new price.
Yeah, because these aren't going to go anywhere because they're made so well. They're going to last, aren't they?
Yeah. The only gripe I've got about this.
What's your boggle?
I have got a boggle, and I only discovered it by accident. I was using it I wasn't using the internal sounds. I was using it as like a master keyboard. I just thought I'd try it out, and I had it going into Reason. And I was playing stuff in, and I was getting these little pitch changes.
How did you have it connected up? MIDI?
Yeah, just
MIDI.
MIDI out, MIDI in. I thought, well, maybe it's the lead. Put another lead on, exactly the same. So I was playing and recording it on Reason, or recording the MIDI, I should say, on Reason, and I just getting all these little pitch changes.
Oh, wow.
I thought this is weird, and the little, you press a note, and then the MIDI indicator would flick again. I thought, what's going on here?
Okay.
So what I did, I didn't press any keys, and all I did was tap the pitch bend wheel, and it was producing a MIDI signal.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's a fault with these ones, or if it's just this particular one.
Did you try different MIDI channels?
No, I just had it on the standard channel.
Right.
But definitely the pitch bend, you just tapped it, and it was producing MIDI information. Obviously it should do when you put it up and down. But it was like the vibration or playing the keys was triggering that.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
Obviously, on most doors, you could say, I want to filter out the pitch information.
Yeah.
So you could get around that. But say if you're recording something, you think, well, I played it right and it just sounds weird. That's possibly what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that was a bit of a boggle, isn't it?
That put me off. I thought, blimey, I'm playing it right, but it's coming out all wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so if you have the same problem, that's probably what it is.
So yeah, just filter the pitch information on your MIDI when you're recording MIDI, and that will get rid of that.
Right. Okay. Okay. So let's have a little listen, shall we? I mean,
yeah.
Well, one thing I noticed with it is you've got what I don't quite understand how this thing works. But if you look on the C100, I don't know if you can see the lights. But as I play one single note, it goes from voice 1 to voice 2 to voice 3 to voice 4, which means just by playing one note you can literally every time it comes back to this channel 1, because I've detuned it, it will play a different note, which really freaks me out. So we're on 2, 3, 4 and then back to 1, we get that different note. So if you do this, and you play it really fast, that to me is really quirky. So you can get like an arpeggiation just from one keystroke.
Yeah, what it is,
I haven't tuned it correctly, but you know what I'm saying.
This harks back to like I think it was like 1981, I think it was, when Korg brought out their mono poly.
Right.
Similar kind of thing with the 4 oscillators. And if you put it in, this is in poly mode, so what it does, it goes to the first one, second one, third one.
Yeah.
So it's basically, so if you played 3 notes, that would play those 3 oscillators, or if you played 4 notes.
Right.
But as Jay said, if you just play one, it just sweeps to the next one.
So you can play one and then slightly put one out of tune if you want, yeah? So
yeah, you can.
Now I like that because a lot of the old Beatles recordings on the Mellotron,
yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
they were never perfectly in tune, and there was something about that out of tuneness that made the song sound great. And people have tried to recreate that. Well, with this you can quite easily.
Yeah, and we should say it's got 3 modes. That's the poly mode, so you can either play chords up to 4 note chords.
So let's do a. But if we put it in mono, we just get single notes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about unison?
Unison, it plays all 4 oscillators together.
All right. That's bizarre.
It prioritises the note, so it'll play the first note, but then if you play the second one, that's what it does.
Brilliant. And the excitement was because my camera only records in 10-minute sections and we have to quickly get up, stop it all and start it all again and clapperboard it and get it all back in sync. So how about sequences then, Si? Without going into crazy detail, can you just hit play and have a sequence tune running?
I guess so. I suppose our tuning's roughly the same, isn't it?
I'll put them all at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it should be. So we just press play. And the weird thing is, if we put it back to mono, then we'll get...
And then poly,
you'll get something different.
And again, if you want to change it, you can change the decay and stuff on every channel and it give you different stuff. Look. Now that was terribly done, but just to give you an example, when you do that with every single channel, you can really make it sound horrible or fantastic, whichever you're into, really.
And because I think if you press the pattern button, you'll see we're on pattern 4.
Yeah.
I think you can store up to 16 patterns, and just
you do that 4
do
times.
number 1. Yeah. Yeah, because that sounded like we were listening to The Who earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, Teenage Wasteland. We kind of got that sound, didn't we?
Yeah, and the Pink Floyd, obviously Dark Side of the Moon, some of their songs. Yeah, you can get that kind of effect using that. It's brilliant.
Just to I know I've turned the tempo up as well, just so it's going a bit quicker, but just to show you how you can change the accent of it just by changing the decay. It's bizarre. It gives you. It's just by adding a bit of decay, it changes the field completely and dramatically.
Yeah, it's an unusual synthesizer.
It is unusual, but it's cool. It's groovy, and I like it. And also, if that was on stage and I was at a gig and I was looking, I'd be thinking, "Wow, man, what's that thing up there? That looks cool." It's got its typical Akai look, isn't it?
Well, I think hats off to Akai. It had a bad start in life and got slated, but if you want to do unusual stuff with it, this is the one. Yeah,
I can imagine you getting some really good arpeggios going on this. Like you say, Teenage Wasteland and stuff like that. Because what we did earlier on when we was playing with it, we did actually program something that sounded half decent. And I whacked the decay up and I turned the volume all the way down and then just faded it up gently. And that was quite an impressive attack.
And I just remembered something. One more thing.
One more thing.
Ensemble, that's what I was looking for, the word.
Yeah, we forgot to say, this one here, this is the how button. So it's a bit like or the howl knob, I should say.
The aggressor.
You turn it up, and it gives you like a distorted kind of sound.
Right.
So if you want to like beef it up or dirty it up, then
go on then. I think you get your hands around that and your head around that, and you can come up with some damn good stuff, Tubes.
yeah, it's inspirational. It's just something different to take you in a different direction to all your standard analog synthesizers.
Well, we like to bring you something different and dig around the stuff we've got, and this is one of them.
And we've also got a tiny little demo.
Yeah,
It's just a basic thing, just to give you an idea. The drums aren't from here, but all the synth sounds are. So
yeah, and that'll be looping round at the end of the video for you. All right, under the titles, I guess we'll loop it under there. Huh?
Yeah,
So
yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do that. Tubes and grooves, ladies, gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Thanks for joining us on this episode to take the fear out of gear. Please help us out with the algorithm by clicking that subscribe. It would mean an awful lot to us.
Tap the bell, tell all your friends, share it.
Yeah, you get those notifications off that bell. And we love you all. Just remember that. Be safe. Be good. Have a good time. Exploring new music, yeah? It's goodbye from me, Jason Bangers.
And it's goodbye from me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
We'll see you next week. Take care, Tubes. We're off.
See ya.
Toodaloo. Wow.